Now we're going to use things like pencil colors, markers, and crayons to add color to our wonderful pumpkins. I'm going to start by showing you how to use something called value. Value is when a color can be light and dark. I started by coloring really hard around the edges or pressing down really firm, and then barely pressing down towards the middle. The middle is light and the outside edges are dark. That's called value. Value is an element of art. And I'm just using my pencil colors to color the rest of my pumpkin. Remember, you can use any materials you have, and you should be using a mixture because we're creating a mixed media work of art. Here I go again, adding value. I'm coloring the outside edges of my pumpkin by pressing down pretty hard, and then when I get to the middle, I'm pressing down very lightly to show that my pumpkin is light and dark, light orange and dark orange, which is showing value. You don't have to make the middle light. You can make the sides light and do the opposite and making the middle dark, whatever you'd like, but try to experiment with value by pressing down with your pencil color to make dark areas and then color lightly to make some light areas. You can do the same thing with crayons too. If you take a crayon and you press really hard in one area and then lighten it up by pressing down light on another area, you can show light and dark or value by using crayons. I want you to make these colorful pumpkins so many different varieties of color using your different materials. Remember, you're using crayons, markers, pencil colors to make these really nice and beautiful. There I go again. I'm using value. I'm pressing really dark on the edges, and then I'm lightening it up by going light in the middle. You can even use two different materials on one pumpkin. Like you might color part of the pumpkin with pencil color, and then you might color part of the pumpkin with marker or crayon. It's up to you. I love to take colors and mix them together with the dry materials, of course. Do not use a marker to do any mixing. But if I color with a pencil color and then I take another pencil color and mix them together, I can experiment by making different colors. But when you do this, make sure that you're using the color wheel to help you. When you're picking two colors to mix together, they need to be neighbors on the color wheel. For example, yellow and green are neighbors. So if I'm using a pencil color or a crayon, I can mix them together and they will look wonderful together because they are neighbors on the color wheel. Or if you're using all the warm colors to mix together, that would make a beautiful color. Or you can use all the cool colors and mix them together. Remember, we're not using mixing with markers. When you're using markers, you pretty much just have to color in solid shapes. But you can experiment with patterns or coloring different parts of your pumpkin, different markers, or you can leave some space open for crayon later. If you're coloring with a marker and with a crayon next door to a marker, make sure that you let your marker dry for a little bit. The marker juice needs to dry for a couple of seconds before you use any other material so that it won't smear on your paper or your hands or smear on your new material. I'm going to keep working, experimenting with using different materials, using value to show light and dark. I'm going to be using some patterns. I'm going to be using some different materials in the same pumpkin. I'm going to be experimenting mixing colors together, but making sure that when I mix two colors together with a dry material, not a marker, they are neighbors on the color wheel, and I'll have that color wheel up for you later so that you can double check. Have fun watching me finish while you relax to the spooky music, and I can't wait to see what your colorful pumpkins will look like.